It's the Howard Stern on this date, Artie updates, and so much more. ST Weekly is live. I'll be posting this out to the folks who are watching or not watching us live, but so this will come into the video feed. I see folks coming in. I see Jared. I see Lance. I see some of my my wonderful favorite people coming in here as I go live. I'm going to try and do this every day. What do you think? I'm going to start today. I know Howard was on vacation, but people seem to like this live thing. We can be interactive. We can talk, although my eyes are so bad I can't really see your names sometimes. So I might have to start wearing glasses. But yes, I see you commenting. Please comment along. We'll go through some of the on this date moments. Thank you. You look great. I sound great, someone says. You look great. We're going to go through some of the on this date stuff. We'll look at some pop culture stuff, and we'll just talk about what we've heard on the show. Let's just look back. March 4th, 1996. Thanks to Mark's Friggin for these wonderful recaps. And let's see. Hello, Lance. Why can't I read these? I need to get a better. I need to get glasses. I can barely see. But thank you. I can see that you're in, and Jared saying hi to Lance. So let's just start with some flashbacks and talk about what happened on this date. And the first one I saw was from March 4th, 1996. So welcome. Happy Monday. It's March 4th. And on March 4th, Howard signed his contract for Infinity. So this was a date that he announced he signed another 5 years to Infinity. Remember, he'd always have these little dances that he wasn't going to sign, or would he stay, or where would he go? Well, March 4th, 1996 was a big day. It was his second to last contract before Sirius, so I thought that was interesting. Robin was also robbed on this date. It was stolen actually recently, but we don't care about that. Also, on this date, coincidentally, moving to March 4th, 1997, Richard Lewis came in unscheduled. Richard Lewis, rest in peace. You know, Richard Lewis, I actually, just for your guys', if you're interested to know this, I had contacted Richard Lewis's people, and we were this close, I thought, to having him on this program. Waited him out, and then he passed. So rest in peace, Richard Lewis. I don't know if anybody watched Curb a couple weeks ago, but he looked terrible. But that's how he looked. So, and I really never found him funny until he was on Curb. I don't know if you guys found him funny on Stern or on Letterman. Never really made me laugh. But he came in on March 4th, 1997 to the Stern show. He came in a month late, supposedly. He was supposed to come in on February 4th, but on March 4th, 1997, Richard Lewis came in and joined the show. March 4th, 1997, Mary McCormick was on the phone, so this was right around the time that the movie was getting ready to be put out there, and Mary McCormick came on the show on March 4th, 1997. And then the Today Show came in to visit with Howard Stern, so Katie Couric was in the studio to interview Howard. So these were some fun days back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember these days when the show was good, and they had all kinds of things going on, and they had Katie Couric coming in to do interview with him on the Today Show, but the movie was coming out in 1997. March 4th, 1998, Hank the Dwarf does karaoke. This was very early on for Hank the Angry Dwarf. I can't remember him being on in 1998, but he came down extra early to hit the bars, so he was already drunk by 3 a.m. This is when Hank was dressed up as an Easter bunny. So this is a famous picture, and he did karaoke on March 4th, 1998. Also on March 4th, 1998, Paul McKenna hypnotized scores, girls, and interns. I remember that show pretty good. That was on the E! Show. I think the E! Show was right around here, too, so March 4th, 1998. Also, Hank sat in during the news and blew a 3.24, down from his 3.75 earlier in the show. So Hank was very drunk. And they had some fun with Hank on March 4th. I miss Hank. I thought Hank was very fun, and he died 3 years later. Kind of crazy to believe that he was only around 3 more years. So I'm looking at some of the comments. Yeah, I thank you, Lance and Jared. Get in here and comment away. So if you're just joining, I know that some folks, it looks like more people are coming in, which is great. I'll be doing this. I'm going to try to do it daily. March 4th is today, so I'm doing Howard Stern on this date, and we're just looking back at Mark's Friggins and then having some conversations here with my live audience. And if you're watching this not live, join us live. I'm going to try to do this early evenings. I'll always schedule it so you'll know it. You'll see it early in the day when we're going to be live, but that's what we're doing here today. The next one I saw was March 4th, 2002. Howard and Artie started off talking about what they did over the weekend. Artie said he went to Nobu for the first time with his new teacher girlfriend, Dana. He spent a short time telling Howard and Robin about her. So is this the first time we heard about Dana on March 4th, 2002? So this is when Artie started his downward spiral, March 4th, 2002. So very interesting to hear Artie going to Nobu with his girlfriend. Also on March 4th, now moving to 03, Mark Harris came in. I thought Mark Harris died around 98, 99. But no, Mark Harris came in to promote a CD where he had songs about Michael Jackson. And Howard said he's not even sure why he was having it on the show. Gary said it'd been a long time, so he thought it'd be okay. So they had some fun with Mark Harris on March 4th of 2003. Moving on to the highlight of March 4th, 2004. Howard takes phone calls and reads some emails. Howard brought up the Michael Powell pictures again on the FCC website. So if you remember 2004, this is the year that Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake did the Super Bowl. And they had their little wardrobe malfunction. And this led to all the FCC tightening of everything, including Howard. So Howard spent a lot of time on March 4th, 2004, talking about the FCC and this is kind of when he started thinking about going to Sirius, I would assume, because the whole show pretty much was on March 4th, 2004, was talking about the FCC and all the sanctions happening there. So welcome in if you're just joining us here live. Again, I'll just mention I'm going to try to do this daily. Again, I'll put them out, I'll put out when they're going to be on early on in the day so you can come here and join. See, almost 20 folks in here. I think that's good for a live group. So comment away if you hear anything that we're talking about. I will also post this later in the day so you can see it live. You can see what we talked about, not live. But appreciate people coming in. So let's take a look at the next one here. March 4th, 2004. Rita the Queefer demonstrates her talent. Well, I wonder what her talent was. I just thought that was interesting that Rita the Queefer came in. We don't really hear that. And also Snoop Dogg came in that day with Howard on March 4th, 2004. March 4th, 2005, Eric the actor pitches a new idea. So we have Mark friggin' already calling him Eric the actor. And we got a little noise there from the Apple News Spotlight. That's awesome. Howard took a call from Eric the midget actor. Howard called him Eric the midget at first, but then changed it to Eric the actor, since that's what he prefers to go by, says Mark Friggin. So this is when we start changing the name, March 4th, 2005. So if you never knew, when did the Eric name change happen? It was 2005. Eric called Howard looking for a job. His phone connection was horrible, and Howard could barely understand him. Eric was giving a sports entertainment report during Robin's News and said he'd like to get on and do some more of that. So Eric the midget was trying to get more work. Sparky's barking, as you can hear. March 2nd, 2005. Also, I'm sorry, I'm looking at March 2nd, but March 4th, Jillian Grace eBay.com sales happened, and also the porn star beauty pageant. So they had a porn star beauty pageant. Wouldn't be happening today, probably, if we were looking at... thank you, Lance. Lance says hello, Sparky. Sparky loves to be part of the show. Let's look at the first time they were actually live on Sirius on March 4th. It was 2008. Howard's being driven nuts by stolen bits, so that was still happening. Whack Pack election game, so we had the election happening. Gary Garver interviews. Wycliffe John joined, so not a great show on March 4th, 2008. March 4th, 2009. Here's the title. Artie and Dana are not back together yet. So Howard talked about this with Artie. Dana and Artie went to Letterman together. I'm not sure if this is the same one that Vinny screwed up. But Howard said that he heard that Artie brought Dana to Letterman last night and introduced her as his girlfriend. Artie said that he's not his girlfriend, but they do stay in touch. Artie said that things are weird with the whole Dana thing. He said that kind of did it. He said he did that kind of as an impulse thing. So let's see what else here. Artie had Langford at the show. They reviewed his time on Letterman. Artie actually bumped into Bono that night. He said he was very nice. He said Tim Sabian was there with Ross Zapin, and they asked him to do mentions of Sirius. So Artie had to bring the crew with him. But Artie was on Letterman on March 4th, 2009. Let's see what else happened with him there. They wanted to listen to the interview because he said Dave did something odd with him at the beginning. I remember that, but I'm not going to read the whole thing here. You can look at Mark's friggin', but just telling you what happened on March 4th, 2009. Also, Jim Florentine returned. I don't know, he's an old friend here, but have you guys seen what happened with Jim Florentine? He was supposed to play a Seattle club, and they canceled. He canceled Jim Florentine. They canceled like 6 different comedians. They said they're not our style anymore. So Jim Florentine hopefully will be back here. I'm trying to look at the comments here. Everybody's just kind of having a conversation, which is great. Come on in and talk with each other. If there's anything, I'm gonna have to bring my glasses out because man, I can't see shit. Okay, I'm just seeing what you guys are saying. It looks like you're having your own conversation, which is fine. We welcome anybody here to come join us as we do some Howard Stern on this date. On March 4th, also in 2009, Jimmy Fallon visited the show. So I bet this was kind of the first time Jimmy was coming in to talk about being Conan's replacement. So we did that a little bit, and just talked about the pressure of replacing Conan. March 4th, 2010, no more Artie anymore, so I stopped listening at this point. Simon Cowell called Howard. News reporters piss off Howard. American Idol clips are played. David Letterman article is discussed in Barbara Walters' visits. So this was in the heat of the Jay Leno, Conan, don't blame Conan stuff, and Howard had some things to talk about there. So that was March 4th, 2010. Barbara Walters came in. I think that was the first time she was in. But the show is definitely taking a different turn with Barbara Walters on it. March 4th, 2014. I don't see. All right, moving on. There it is. No. Not there either. So they didn't have a show in 2016. The next live one. So he's starting to take a lot of time off during this period as well. So March 4th, 2019. He was off this week, March 4th, 2019. Let's see what happened on March 4th, 2019. Howard's Kane and Bobo annoying Gary all weekend. Michael Jackson documentary discussion, ass versus mouth preview, and Luke Perry's stroke, and the Michael Jackson documentary discussion. So we're now clearly into the current mode where there's not much fun happening with the show. But that was our review of what's gone on this date. Got a lot of folks coming in. Let's see what people are saying. I'll have to move this back a little bit. Yeah, grab the glasses. I'm gonna. If you're saying that, I can't read. I'm having a real problem reading. Florentine was not dating Robin at that point. So let me go back to that. Let's take a look and see what they talked about because that was after. I think this was his first visit. Let's read here. March 4th, 2009. Jim Florentine was coming in to play his new Terrorizing Telemarker CD. Howard said that Robin is sparkling today and maybe she's still in love with Jim, and Jim said really, and sounded kind of awkward saying it, according to Mark's friggin'. Robin said that Jim's eyebrows were looking kind of odd this morning. So yeah, they were talking about their relationship back then. Okay, so you want me to do this after 6 Eastern. I see that, Lance. All right, I'll do that for you. I will do this later in the evening. I thought I was going to have, like, nobody in the house, but they all just showed up right as I started taping. Of course. They said, they'll be home at 6. Let me see here. COVID-19. Oh, come on. What's that say? Artie. I can't see what's going on here. Yes, it is unreal how shitty Howard sounds now. I can't believe... my subscription has run out, so I'm no longer... I've done as many, I think, free subscriptions as I possibly could. I don't have any more emails to use. And for a while there, I was reviewing the show here for you, and it was painful. I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I was going to try this out. I was going to try some flashbacks. You guys want to hear some pop culture stuff that happened? Where do you want me to go back? I have got 24 new viewers, so let's just go to the beginning and look back at some of these things and see if anybody has anything. Any of our new live viewers have things that they'd like to say as I dig back into the on this date. We have 24 people in here. Man, this is exciting. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to try to do this daily, look back at on this date in Howard history, look at key moments, and I take from marksfriggin.com, who is a wonderful person. I've talked to him a few times, tried to get him on the show actually. And by the way, still will be doing hopefully more shows with guests. That's the plan. But we've run through kind of what happened back in this day. So let's just recap. So in March of 96, we had a new contract for Howard for Infinity. So his second to last contract with Infinity, he had signed it on this date in 1996. In 1997, Richard Lewis was on the show. And I'd mentioned how that was kind of interesting that Richard Lewis was on the show. He's just passed. He was just recently in the news. And I had contacted his people to be on this very show. And I'm sad that I never really got a chance to hook up with him. Jeff Garland was supposed to be here. I don't know if you saw Phyllis from The Office was on. Hopefully you enjoyed that. But trying to get more folks to be a part of this. Got COVID-19 vaccine spokesperson asking me who is my favorite whack packer. Let's see, who is my favorite whack packer? I do love Beetlejuice. I do love Beat. I can tell you who my unfavorites are. I have tried talking to Artie. I've talked to Artie. I've met Artie. I have one of his old numbers. Least favorite are High Pitch Eric, and I'm not a big Ass Napkin Ed. And then I really am not a Mark the Bagger fan. I'm not sure if you guys are interested in Mark the Bagger, but I'm not a giant fan of his. I'm looking at the comments here. Just keeping an eye on the comments. I'm definitely going to have to get glasses or do something where I can see better because, man, I am just having a rough time. And this just didn't happen last time. I had no problem. So anyway, what we're doing here is we're going to try to come every... I'm going to put this back here so you can enjoy my face and not see me shaking. But come here. Will the Farter's a good one for sure. Do this hopefully daily. We'll all come here to come together, and maybe I'll get the subscription again. We can talk about the show. But we're just looking back at what was on the show on this date, and then giving our kind of thoughts. In March of '97, he had Mary McCormick on the show, so this is right in the heat of the Private Parts time frame. I like that. I thought that was fun. I really enjoyed when that the movie premiere happened and they were on MTV. It was like a really good time for the show too. Jackie was funny, and I think Casey wasn't there yet. Maybe he was just starting, but they had Katie Couric came to the studio to do an interview. So let's see. What's that say? Brad, you gotta start somewhere. Here we are. Oh, thank you, Lance. Lance is very active. I need to get glasses. I can hardly see these things. You guys want any pop culture history from today? How about I got some of the top songs of the year. How about 1983? Billie Jean, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was big in 1983 on this date. Billie Jean was number 1 in 1983. How about 1980? Thing Called Love, Crazy Thing Called Love by Queen. Anybody have those albums? I can see you now, Lance. That's much better. Everybody just type in caps lock, and then I'll be able to respond live as I see here that happening. And by the way, this is live as we're doing it now, but I'm going to post this as a video file later in the day. So this is what we're going to be doing live. If you're watching over here, as I look up at my other camera, man, look at that. I can see you all now. That's wonderful. 2005, number 1 song, Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day. Let's see what else we got here. We got some birthdays. Catherine O'Hara is 70 years old today. Happy birthday to Catherine. The birthdays were really weak today. 1962, Wilt Chamberlain registered his 5th 50-point game with 58 against the New York Knicks and set a season scoring record with 3,921 points, and he banged 5 chicks that night. Remember 20,000 chicks? Okay, what do we got here? Baba Booey. All right. I've run out of material. Now, I would love to sit here and talk more. It's fun having over 30 people. I can just maybe stop down and chat if you'd like. I'm going to continue to just run through on this dates every day. I'll try to do this later in the day. McKine, I love that. That was one of my favorite bits, of course, from Baba Booey. What's your favorite? Yeah, Baba Booey. I never listened to live, or I never really knew about the hurricane discussion about can I rely on you, and I just watched that maybe a month ago. Here comes someone down the stairs now. It's unbelievable. I guess I have to go eat. My food is here. And there's 44 people in here. I don't even want to leave. I don't want to leave anyone. But I'm going to leave now. I'm going to go eat my dinner, and we'll do this again tomorrow. So I'll probably, because one person asked, can we do this later in the day? I will do it later in the day, just for Lance. And we'll look back at some more big moments, right? Again, I didn't expect anyone to be here, but they're all here, and they brought me food. So I got to go eat, right? I'm hungry. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm going to post this later, and we'll see if we get any more comments in the comment section. We'll respond to everything I saw. I really appreciate y'all coming here, and we'll see if we can build something out here. But I'm going to say goodbye. And I'm going to get my glasses so I can see you next time. See you, bye, everybody. We'll talk tomorrow.